Hi there, welcome to Tuesday. So here is the topic of today's video is something we're all looking forward to, is suffering. Yeah, I know it's not a fun topic at all, is it? But it's so incredibly important. It is so incredibly important to come to acceptance that suffering is, in fact, a part of life. It is a part of being human. It's a part of this life experience. It's the deal we made when we decided to enter this earth. It's the trade off for this lovely experience and all those things. Suffering is, in fact, a part of life. Just is. It's not something we can turn off. We have been growing into a culture where we will do anything we possibly can to be comfortable and to avoid suffering. We put things in place to avoid the suffering. We make, you know, shots to prevent future sicknesses. We, like set up our day in such a way that we avoid things that upset us. We avoid people that, or posts or things that upset, like we do things to purposefully reduce the amount of suffering in our lives. So one, of course we are, like, of course we're going to do that. And it's totally normal and human to not want to suffer, is just as natural and just as inevitable as the fact that suffering is going to be a part of our lives. So it's really just about acceptance so that it's not so shocking every time it hits us. A lot of the suffering that we experience is because we're beating ourselves up because we're suffering. Why am I letting this affect me so much? Well, why did I do that? Like, let's release the surprise. And when we do have some type of suffering, physical, emotional, mental, whatever it is, let's skip the part um, that we're surprised by it and beating ourselves up for doing whatever it was that made it happen. Let's skip past all that BS and go straight to the acceptance piece. Straight to, yep, this is part of life. It is a needed part of life. And I'm experiencing it, period. Just acceptance that it's not only is it okay, but it's going to happen. I love you to death, but you're going to suffer. You are, it's just going to happen. And by fighting it or putting excess energy on fighting it or preventing it or all of those things, and by being so surprised and shocked when it does happen, all that's doing is making the suffering greater. Imagine something happens that causes suffering and you get to skip straight to the part of acceptance. Yeah, man, this really does suck. This loss really sucks and it makes me sad. And then we're sad. And then the sadness passes if we allow it to. It is our mental capacity, it is our obsession on trying to push the suffering away that makes it stay around longer. It is all the thoughts. It's revisiting in your head all of the things that you could have done differently to prevent this. That's what keeps the suffering around. What happens if you just allow yourself to feel the sadness, feel the anger, feel the frustration, actually feel the feelings in their natural flow state, allowing them to come and go without trying to fully control them? What would happen if you just allowed yourself to feel? Just pause and feel the suffering. I invite you to look at what's happening to you right now. What is coming up for you when I invite you to do that? When I invite you to, in the times of suffering, instead of running away or pushing away or raging or doing whatever the thing is that we shut down, we hide, whatever the thing is, whatever the coping mechanism is that we've established for ourselves, what happens if you stop doing that and simply pause and feel the loss? feel the anger, feel the frustration, feel the rage, feel the sadness and sorrow. What happens if you just allow yourself to feel? Let me know what comes up for you when I suggest this. Let me know how this is landing for you. Because the reality is, suffering, or really any emotion at all, is very much like a toddler or a puppy. They start further out. They just, they're in the other room and they're called mom, or they whimpering, or whatever it is. And if we ignore them, they have to yell louder in order to get our attention. Our emotions bring us messages. And so if we ignore them, they have to speak louder. They have to get more intense. They have to crawl on our lap and kiss our face and crawl all over us and do whatever they need to do to get our attention. So the reality is, if you're able to tap into, accept, and actually feel the emotions when they first start, they will be allowed to pass through much quicker, much more successfully than if we push them back, we fight them, we say we're ignoring them, but really what we're doing is, doing everything we can to pretend it doesn't exist and all that. What happens if we stop fighting them and we just allow them to pass through, give us the message, we take the message and move that forward and allow everything else to pass? So this is an experiment for you this week. What happens if you pause and feel when things are uncomfortable? Pause and feel it versus trying to run away from it. Tell me what you think of this. If you struggle with, like, what the heck are you talking about, Nance? What does this feel like? What does this look like? Let me know. We can go through this together so that it is a safe space. I can walk you through what this feels like, walk you through how to do this in a way that it is productive and it is, in a way that will help you heal and pass through the suffering versus holding on to it by fighting it. As always, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.